Very exciting. Joining us today, Katie and Tommy McGrady. And the reason they're here, because they're the hosts of a new podcast called, of all things, The Electric Waffle. They join us from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Hey, guys, thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah,
thanks for having us, Bishop.
Thanks for having us.
I have to say, Katie, thank you to you for your wonderful presentation to the bishops at their November meeting in Fort Lauderdale. It was spectacular, you and your collaborators.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to be there. Very honored that we got to speak. So thanks for having us.
And look forward to having you come to Boston next spring.
Yes. Yeah, very excited.
To speak about the Synod of Bishops. And Tommy, we don't want to forget you, because you are a busy husband. You're a dad to your beautiful daughter, Rosie. You're a retreat leader. You're a speaker. Plus, I think you start your academic year as campus minister soon. But whatever made you decide to add to all of that a podcast?
Well, I mean, happy wife, happy life. And no, it came about just our love of the office and of Parks and Recreation. And it gave us an avenue to kind of unwind and unpack our love of that, but also connect as a couple. And because of our busy schedules, time for us to just sit and be together and talk about things is kind of limited. So it kind of gave us that outlet, and then it gave us an opportunity to turn it into a bit of a ministry as well, to use our gifts for the betterment of the church and for edification of others. So it's a win-win all the way around.
And Tommy, the Electric Waffle, what's in a name? I mean, I don't get it.
Well, so we love the office, which is from Scranton, Pennsylvania, where I'm from. It's called the Electric City, so that's where the electric comes from. And then Parks and Rec, Leslie Knope loves waffles from JJ's Diner. So the Electric Waffle, you kind of have to be on the inside of both of those shows to get it. And that's kind of, we want to make it subtle and hidden, but funny for those who are fans of the show.
But also we discovered that the word waffle sometimes means, if you look at Urban Dictionary, the definition meant when you waffle on something, you're kind of just talking around it.
Sure, yeah.
So this is an electric conversation about a lot of different things. It's the electric conversation about nothing.
Yeah.
Great explanation. Hey, great Skype, by the way. You people look fantastic. I can hear you as if you were in the next room. And, speaking of that, you typically speak at events on your own. You kind of do your own thing. What's it like to collaborate as a married couple on this podcast project?
Oh, it's really easy, and there's never any tension.
None.
Or frustration. Yeah, it really highlighted how differently we work and process things, and really made us kind of adjust to the other.
It's definitely allowed us to stretch, both conversationally and editing and making sure that we stay on point and on topic. What you get is a good 30, 40-minute episode. What we recorded was probably close to 90 minutes, and it had to be chopped and hammered together in such a way. But it's been cool to see the differences and also the way that we're similar.
Right. I think it should be incorporated in every marriage prep across the country.
You must do a podcast.
Everyone do a podcast together and figure out if you really should get married.
Okay. Hey, now, so each of you work with young people, and Katie, as I mentioned at the beginning, you spoke to the U.S. bishops, and the buzz in the hallway was that you were the best thing that happened at the meeting.
Thank you.
And you're a part of the Vatican Synod on Young People. What would each of you say would be a surprise that you've encountered about working with the young church?
Well, teenagers are very surprising. Oftentimes showing you that they are capable of really intentional, deep conversation. One of the things that's coming out of the Synod is this recognition that young people have something to say. They have thoughts, they have feelings, they have questions, they have concerns, but they have something to contribute, and that we as a church need to listen. And it's been really surprising to listen to what they have to say and really be inspired by some of their thoughts and their ideas and how they want to grow closer to Jesus.
Yeah, and I would say they get the reputation of being apathetic and not really caring about anything other than themselves. And I think when you get to know young people, you start to understand they do deeply care about a number of issues, but I think this particular generation is drawn to areas of injustice and oppression. I mean, we saw a group of high school students in Parkland, Florida, take over the news cycle for about 2 weeks after the shooting and the tragedy in their school. And the response of young people going to the border to deal with that human tragedy. Yeah, the human tragedy and just the needs of these migrant people. They're drawn to the margins. They're very much, taking the baton from Pope Francis and going to the margins and going to serve the people who desperately need help and attention and love.
Well, this has just been a quick taste of what people are going to experience at the Electric Waffle. Where can people find more about the podcast and actually have a chance to listen and get to know you guys a little bit better?
So we have a website for the podcast, the electricwaffle.fireside.fm, and it's available on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play, on Spotify. We just found out we're on Spotify, so it's pretty accessible. And then you can follow my website. It's got the most updates on katieprejean.com.
Very good. Tommy and Katie Prejean-McGrady, thank you so much for joining us here in the living room, the newly renovated living room.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It looks great.
Isn't it nice? It's bright and cheery, just like you guys. And take care of that little Rosie, okay?
We will for sure. Thanks
All right. Thanks. Have a great summer, guys. God bless.